interesting parts here for you. At times, I wish Rebecca Quin were more like the character I play on TV. Instead, she's vulnerable, often foolish, and a whole lot more complex. But I like that about her. Season 1, The Growing Years. Episode 1, The Entrance. It was April 2020. I was the longest reigning Raw Women's Champion, and I was pregnant. With the whole world shut down for COVID and nothing to do, the least I could do was create human life. If ever there was a time to sneak a kid into the wrestling family, I decided this was it. My fiancé Colby and I had just gathered our snacks, taking a break from our Game of Thrones marathon to watch the biggest wrestling event of the year, WrestleMania 36, the showcase of the immortals. The Super Bowl of sports entertainment, an event so big it sells thousands upon thousands of tickets before even a single match is announced. Only this year's attendance, precisely 0, and I was wrestling on it. Again, pregnant. We had pre-taped the event 2 weeks earlier. COVID protocols calling for us to travel as little as possible, meaning we taped several shows at a time, weeks in advance. Vince McMahon, our almighty overlord and the chairman of WWE, would rather die than cancel a show. That man believes in what he does and what WWE means more than anything. At a time when people were scared and confused, not knowing what the future held for them or their loved ones, people needed a distraction more than ever. Vince, the almost mythical billionaire, could be a terrifying figure. He was never one to shy away from controversy or tough decisions. He even remains one of the few people to take on the United States government and win. WWE was his baby. But how the hell was he going to feel about my baby? As I chomped down on my cheese puffs, I watched my opponent Shayna Baszler throw my expecting ass around like I was a kite on a windy day. I had recommended that she take the title from me at WrestleMania, not because I was with child, but because I had been a babyface champion for so long and could feel the audience beginning to turn on me. I'd gone from underdog to top dog, and such a situation can't overstay its welcome. Plus, we needed to make more female contenders, and what better way to do that than having them win the title on the grandest stage of them all? Everyone wins, except me, whose request was denied. I wanted to lose, but I would actually win, so it was a loss. Sigh. Wrestling's confusing. How am I going to tell Vince? I turned to Colby, realizing that beyond our immediate family, the most powerful man in wrestling needed to be the first recipient of our news. You're just going to have to tell him, he responded. You think he's going to yell at me? Fire me? I don't think so, but he'll probably be upset. Ugh. I waited till the hullabaloo of WrestleMania weekend was over. All things considered, it was a success. Or as much of a success as a wrestling event can be when taped in front of absolutely no one, with only the grunts of our pain and effort to interrupt the awkwardness. You're just going to have to call him, Colby advised, looking at my anguished face while I was in the midst of something resembling a workout. Just rip the Band-Aid off. Okay, yeah. I can do that. You sure? Yeah. I'll tell him how I can still keep working, Maybe I could make a documentary about all of this. Or I could maybe be a consultant on the creative team or something, I said as I scrambled for ways to save my job. I think you're going to be fine, Colby comforted me. Yeah, I'm the man, I said facetiously. I'm going to call him now. Then I stepped outside to make the biggest phone call of my life. Bring, 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 bring. There was a light drizzle as I stood outside Colby's Iowa gym waiting for Vince to answer. Bring, 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 bring. I began to kick up the dirt on the ground, making patterns with my foot, my anxiety overriding my nausea. Bring, bring. It's just life, Rebecca. You can have it all, the family and the job. The men do. Why not you? It's not fair for anyone to ask you to choose. And it's none of their business, I reasoned with myself. Bring, bring, click. I re-entered the empty gym. He didn't answer, I relayed, more relieved than disappointed. Probably in a meeting or something. Oop, that's him, I yelled as my phone rang. The drizzle had turned into a downpour.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.